Ikigo cy'igihugu cyo kubungabunga ibidukikije kibashije gushyira ahagaragara ishusho y'imihindukire y'ibidukikije mu Rwanda ku nshuro ya kabiri. Abayobozi bo mu nzego zose ndetse n'impuguke mu nzego zigenga n'iza leta bakaba baratanze umusanzu n'amakuru afatika ngo iki gitabo cyiswe Atlas of Rwanda's Changing Environment gishyirwe ahagaragara. Iyi nshingano yo kugaragaza imiterere y'ibidukikije mu Rwanda, ikigo cy'igihugu cyo kubungabunga ibidukikije REMA kihabwa n'itegeko.
We are requested by the law to produce every 2 years a report of the state of environment, and as you must be aware, the first report was out in 2009, and this year we said, why don't we do Atlas, try to illustrate the state of environment by using new methods, just to show, to demonstrate how our environment has changed. And environment is crucial for the development of this country. The Vision 2020, which has been put in place in 2000 of government of Rwanda as a direction for where we wanted to be in 2000 and to 2020, has set up some targets. One of them I remember is this, we have to reduce our people living on agriculture. And in 2000, I think more than 90% of Rwandan people were involved in agriculture activity. And we want to reduce that percentage to 50%. And it is 50% of the population, the total population. And in 2000, if I remember well, maybe we were around 7 million, and today we are approaching 11. So in 2020, I don't know the prediction, the census, which is ongoing, will inform us. But it is the development of Rwanda, as I'm saying. We have also another target to reduce firewood as a source of energy. So imagine this country, we want to develop, we want electricity, we want whatever we know, but if the issue of reducing this energy, to reduce the firewood, it means we have to diversify the source of energy in this country. And this whole background, the Vision 2020, as you might know, is translated into mid-term development framework. The one we do have this time is EDPRS, Economic Development and Poverty Reduction Strategy, which was put in place in 2008. And luckily enough, government of Rwanda has accepted to have environment as a sector, but also as a cross-cutting. So now your question is asking me how, and of course we do have also MDGs, Millennium Development Goals. Our country has accepted to be part of this global village where we have some targets we have to achieve in 2015. We're almost there. The most, maybe most of them, we have to achieve them. But I'm looking at MDG number 1, where we're talking about fighting hunger. And the MDG number 7, which is talking about the sustainable development of what we do. So now, coming back after maybe this background, the development of this country is almost based on natural resource. And we are facing this imbalance between natural resource use and population growth, but also a lack of alternative solutions to the livelihoods. Now, this environment is, we are responsible, the role of environment for sustainable development is to help us through the policy which has been put in place in 2003 by using this environmental law which has been put in place in 2005. And also this law governing REMA, determining the organization, and the Rwanda Environment Management Authority in 2006. All those are the instruments.
Minisitiri w'umutungo kamere Ambasaderi Stanislas Kamanzi asanga intego y'iki gitabo ari ukugaragaza aho u Rwanda rugeze rugana iterambere rirambye ndetse no gutanga imirongo migari yakoreshwa mu guhuza ibidukikije n'iterambere.
Our government sees sustainable development as possible if only it's hinged on proper management of the environment and natural resources. To this end, a number of policies, sectoral policies have been put in place, and of course, following that, legislation was made to ensure that those policies can be translated into concrete actions. So the main focus now is to ensure that whichever development actions are undertaken, they are supported by adequate practices with regard to ensuring that those actions don't bring any harm to the environment, but instead take advantage of the good management of the environment and the adequate use of the resources that we have to ensure that they are sustainable, to ensure that they meet the objectives contemplated in terms of improving the livelihoods of our people for now, but also for the future generations.
Iki gitabo cya Atlas kigaragaza ibijyanye n'inzego zitandukanye. Urwego rw'ingufu n'isuku ni zimwe mu zibanzweho by'umwihariko.
Energy is much more related to environment. If the environment is not protected, then energy also is affected. But some activities also in developing energy projects, it can also affect the environment. So in our policy addresses all these issues where all the projects has to consider environmental issues. We need to do an environmental impact assessment for each and every project. It has also to have an environmental management plan and to have a close follow-up on the EMP, environmental management plan. If the project has the impact to the environment, you have to indicate mitigation measures, and to achieve this, we have put up, we have hired someone to look at the environmental aspects in different projects. That is follow up on the implementation of EMPs, implementation of mitigation measures on different projects. So, because we understand the importance of environmental protection, if we took we talk on hydro, we know if the water resources are not protected, then the hydro project will also be affected. So we look at it in that perspective. If we come to water, it's also obvious. The water resources, if the water resources are protected, it provides the water supply that is clean, or maybe it might need literal treatment. But when water resources is affected in terms of the quality and the quantity, of course it affects the availability and the quality of it. It consumes a lot of chemicals to treat. So we look on that into that perspective. So we know protection of water sources provides the water supply for our people. Come to sanitation. We have now tried to develop sanitation, different sanitation technologies, so that we know the appropriate sanitation. That means it should be environmentally acceptable, socially and economically also viable. So we tried to assess different areas. Of course, we look with, for example, if the water table is high, then we make sure the technology there should not pollute the groundwater resources. So it is in that context that we try to see that we give a solution as you solve the issue of sanitation, but at the same time we protect the environment.
umujyi wa Kigali wafashwe nk'umwihariko bitewe n'ubwinshi bw'abawutuye bugira ingaruka ku bidukikije n'umutungo kamere. Umuyobozi w'umujyi wa Kigali Bwana Fidel Ndayisaba nawe yagize uruhare mu kugaragaza ibibazo bijyanye n'imicungire myiza y'ibidukikije by'umwihariko mu mujyi wa Kigali.
The city of Kigali as a capital city has to deal with a sound management of environment and with a special focus mainly on sanitation, because as a capital city it's a venue of gathering of people, being resident, being many meetings. When you have such crowd of people, sanitation is a crucial issue. And the sanitation is a big component. When we talk about sanitation, we think about sewage, we think about basic infrastructure for sanitation, like appropriate toilets. We think about landfill, because where you have gathering, you have waste, and you should think about the disposal of that waste. So, this bring in the landfill, the collection of waste, the disposal at landfill, and the management of landfill. And there is also the issue of central sewage system for sewage treatment, like for water. We've got a study just to put in place a central sewage system, which is like a backbone in sanitation in a city like the one we have. Of course, we know that we are experiencing a city which has been developed since 1907 in an unplanned way. From that very beginning, I think people didn't even think about the sewage system. They use it just to use septic tanks, where people just used to dig there, but in terms of environment, whereas that this can be a disaster, especially in our hilly city. See, it is just a hilly city. It's not flat enough, and if the hills we have here are full of those pit latrine, it is becoming a disaster. It's why for us a central sewage system is very crucial, very important. And since we have got a study in partnership with the EWASA, former Electrogas, and the Ministry of Infrastructure, we are looking into implementation now. But before that, we've started to put in place some mitigation measures, like to look for individual treatment plant for big buildings. When we talk about big buildings, a kind of those buildings with the capacity to accommodate around 100 persons should have its, each one should have its treatment plant, while waiting, of course, for the central one. When it will be there, of course, it will discharge the burden they have. It will be just to connect on that backbone.
Engineer Koleta Ruhamya anasaba abaturarwanda kumva ko gucunga neza ibidukikije bireba buri wese.
Yeah, I would say maybe I would request all Rwandans to take the issue of environment as we need to own it, all of us. Because I have seen in the other areas they think environment will be, we leave it to REMA to take care of the Minera, but this should be the, I mean, we need all of us to own it because issue environment is a cross-cutting issue. If environment is destroyed, then other sectors are also destroyed.
Iki gitabo gihuza ibidukikije n'iterambere. Kigaragaza ibibazo bijyanye n'impinduka z'ibidukikije ariko kinagaragaza ibyiza abanyarwanda bagezeho. Minisitiri Stanislas Kamanzi akaba asanga iyi Atlas ari ishema ku banyarwanda bose mu rwego rw'iterambere ryagezweho mu kubungabunga ibidukikije hagamijwe iterambere.
I want to tell Rwandans that they have to be proud of what we have achieved. I think it's very, very critical. We are praised by the rest of the international community, as you did mention as we started this interaction. At times we take it for granted, but that recognition actually should be seen as as something that would for which we should really feel proud, and of course which also would be a motivation for us to move even faster, to show more ownership, to ensure that the outstanding challenges can be overcome as quickly as possible. Once again, underlining the ownership, the buying aspect. We need to put together our efforts. I so much held the commitment and the political dedication of our top leadership. This is an opportunity for me to invite all the Rwandans to follow the pace, to follow suit, and to ensure that what we have achieved can serve as a basis to move, to leapfrog, and that we have no right to have this decline or revert back, slide back. What we have achieved has to be sustained and should serve us as a strong basis to move to greater heights. This is the message that I would want to use this opportunity to send out.